Okay, so here's the first couple questions from 1.5. We're going to do this together. Get your graphing calculators out. So if we look at question number 1, we're going to do this on our graphing calculator. So you've got your calculator out and open there in front of you. Turn it on. Go to apps.
I don't have that.
If you don't have apps in your calculator, you need to get a different calculator. You need to have a plus, okay? If you have just a TI-83 that does not have plus here, you might not have this. So you need to grab one that has a plus, okay? Awesome. Now, finance. So hit finance and TVM Solver, okay? Now this TVM Solver, then too bad for you. On the TVM Solver, you have this screen right here, okay? We went over this the other day. N is the number of payments. I, capital I, that's yearly compound interest. P, present value right here. Payment, future value. Payments per year, compounding periods per year. So for 1A, okay, I'm doing 1A, that's the data for 1A up there. Now how did I get that? Regular payment, that's right here. We said that if you're paying out, if it's going out, it's negative. So that's a negative 200. Okay, goes in there. Interest rate, 4.8. Compounding payment and frequency is monthly. So that means P slash Y and C slash Y is 12. Okay? Now, what you're looking for is future value. So what you want to do is you want to get your cursor here to FV. It doesn't have to be cleared. You can clear it if you want. Doesn't matter. But then here's the clincher. Alpha, enter, which is solve. Okay? And there you go. It's as easy as that. All this stuff right here is on this TVM solver. It makes it super slick. So you have, your answer is $498,526.60. That's the answer for 1A. Check the back of your book. Should be right. So again, how do you get here? All right. We quit. From the screen here, apps, finance. Your finance might be number 5. There may be more applications on there. And 1 TVM solver. This only is on the plus calculators. So if you don't have a plus calculator, you might not have the apps on here. You need this button right here. But once you get here, you go ahead and plug everything in. So you guys just go ahead and do B. I'll freeze the screen and do B, and we'll see, we'll compare. Before we move on, where did 600 come from? Monthly, that's 12 times per year over 50 years. So that's 50 times 12 is 600. So that's what N equals. Okay? Yeah, for B then, 20 times semi-annually is 2 times a year. So that's 20 years times 2 is 40. So N is 40 for B. Okay? Okay, so here's the value for B right here, future value. So for 20 years semi-annually, if you're putting this much in, 126,000 for B. Another thing to remember when you're solving, okay, it's in the turquoise here, so it's alpha, enter, that's the solve there. Okay? Not second function enter, because you're going to get some pretty crazy stuff. You might just, yeah. So if we look at number 2 here, very similar, except we're solving for different things. So in A, we're solving for interest rate. So, again, just use this page for everything. The payment here is $100, so do a negative 100. The interest rate, now you can leave it from the previous question. You can just leave it there, or you can just put 0, but whatever. You can just leave it till the end. So compounding and payment frequency is monthly. So that's a 12 there. And future value, see, we need to put in now a future value for it to calculate what the percentage is. Okay? The future value is 780.61. So you fill in everything that you can, and then you go up to the percentage that you want to solve for, and then you do alpha, enter, and it should tell you Oh, I didn't do N yet. Sorry, N. Okay, that's why it didn't look right. So regular payments, compounding, and payments. So that's monthly for 6 years. Okay, thank you. So 6 times 12, 72. Yeah, 37%. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so alpha, enter. There we go. That looks a little more like it. So 2.67 or 2.68, 2.7, whatever. Usually go 2 decimal places if you're wondering. That's more specific than you would need to be. So 2.68%. Does that check out with the back of the book there? Is that right? Okay, so that's confirmed. Answer 2.68%. All right. So number 2, same thing. You want to check out what the payment's going to be. So this is the one you're going to solve for in B. And C is going to be a bit tricky. You got to solve for N, and then you have to figure out how many years. So 4 times per year, right, gives you N. So see if you can figure out C on your own. So take a minute to do those two. Okay, so for 2C here, I've got everything plugged in, and we're going to solve for N, but N is not going to give us the number of years, it's going to give us the number of compounding periods. And so when we do that, we get 41.999999. So 42, you run that to 42, so N equals 42. All right, so that's the number of compounding periods. So if we did, let's say, quarterly, that's 4 times a year. So if you have 42 payments and you divide that by 4, that is how many years? Okay? So just going to quit to get to the home screen. 42 divided by 4 is 10.5. So this happens in 10.5 years. Okay, so the question about number 3 here, all right, is how much interest has been earned? That's really what you're looking for, right? Yeah. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to calculate future value. Calculate future value first. I'm not sure why I wrote a W there. Future value, and then you want to subtract the input value. Now, how do you do that? Well, let's forget about all the interest, and let's think about $350 each month for 18 years. And that's how much she's actually put in, right? Everything else above that is interest. So 350, the input value is 350 times 12 months a year times 18 years. So that's what you do. The future value that you calculate on your calculator minus this right here.